Hello avid readers, I'm DP, author, MTG fan and voracious reader, here to welcome you to MTG Reads, a quick roundup of some of the best books and articles on MTG. I've had 134 different articles this week, excluding anything that was just a press release, and many of them were broad but shallow reviews of the entirety of Core 21 or of Jumpstart. They were pretty much of a muchness. If you want to read about those card releases, pick whichever one from whichever site you frequent. They're all cover all of the basics. So, as your time's precious, let's dive in and look at some of the articles that stood out from the crowd this week. Firstly, we've got Rick Amundson, who interviewed the YouTuber and competitive EDH player Kyle Hill over at EDH Rec. They dive into a thought experiment called Rockos Basilisk and extend that into its impact in deck building. Now, I gotta be honest, Rockos Basilisk is something I'd never heard of, but I instantly recognised it as something I've fallen into the trap of. Next up is Aiden Moher over at VentureBeat. To be honest, VentureBeat's not a website that's normally a source for MTG Reads, but this week Aiden did a great article on the history of MTG gaming from 1997 with the Magic the Gathering, also known as Shaladar game, all the way through to today. It's a fulsome article, and it should suit those either reminiscing about the games that they played, or as for those of us that missed those games as well. Now, it's a very good article. It includes lots of quotes from MTG luminaries, although I gotta be honest, I doubt that everyone's going to agree on which game was the best MTG game. Meanwhile, Sancho Napora over at Card Market went on an archaeologist's expedition into Eventide, a set that he missed first time round. Now, it's a charming article that unearthed loads of gems that are well worth renewed exposure. The only potential downside in this article is it may well pour some more fuel onto the whole bogle or boggle debate that some people get so adamant about. Talking of adamant debates, Rich Calley at Flipside Gaming wrote an article on his experience at the recent online Pro Tour. The event caused loads of angst on social media, with people claiming that it wasn't really a Pro Tour and others claiming of course it was. The nice thing about this article is that Rich is able to provide evidence from somebody who participated as opposed to just opinion from other people. His conclusion certainly convinced me and is well worth the read. Now, all of this chat about debate brings me on to my favourite article of the week, and that one was by Dave Kosin over at coolstuff.inc. Now, Dave's slightly misleading title makes you think it's purely about the hybrid mana rule in Commander. Actually, what Dave does is he dives behind all of these debates and looks for the root cause. And it's not just hybrid mana, it's planeswalkers as commanders, it's the abolition of commander damage, and more. Now, not only does Dave manage to avoid getting mired in any of the individual arguments, he also focuses on the root cause, and best of all, he has a solution. Highly recommended for every Commander player. So, with the highlights of the week covered, let's move on to looking at a gem from the archives. With Core 21 spoiler season finished and Jumpstart burnt through in record quick time, it seems like we may have a few minutes until Wizards turns the hype machine onto the return to Zendikar. Now, we've had a lot of new MTG players pick up the game since we were last at the plane, so it means it's an ideal time to look at the James Wyatt book, The Art of Magic the Gathering, Zendikar, from 2016. As it happens, this was the first of 7 books so far, with an 8th one due fairly shortly, as noted in MTG number 2. It covers the events that have happened on the plane, as well as major characters, comprehensive details about locations and way of life of the different peoples of the plane, really adding a richness to your understanding of Zendikar. As a way to showcase the plane, this really can't be beaten, as witnessed by these photographs of my copy that I've got. It covers races such as the Core, as well as the Eldrazi in great detail, charting their rise and their downfall to the Hedron alignment, the Oath of the Gatewatch. As you can see, the balance between the art that can span both large pages and the detailed text to accompany it really does set the bar high. This is a book to dawdle through, to enjoy each and every page. Then it's a book to treasure and put on the shelf and pull out again and again. At least, that's what I do with my copy. In my view, if you want to know about Zendikar, there really is no better way to start than buying a copy of James Wyatt's book On the Plane. That quickly covers a past treasure, but what about upcoming things to look forward to? Well, there have been no formal announcements of any new books other than the ones I've covered in previous episodes, so we've probably got to wait now until Wizards announces the almost inevitable novella that's going to accompany the Zendikar set. I doubt we've got long to wait. After all, if there's one thing that Wizards likes making more than cards, it's announcements. So that just about wraps up MTG Reads for this week. Remember, all of the links to the articles and books are in the description below. And if you like what you've seen, please subscribe or give me at least a thumbs up so I know I'm not just talking to myself. And I'll be back again fairly shortly with another update. Happy reading!